Wow. Okay, so let's actually, our first guest she is waiting patiently. So let's get her on the line. Let's welcome to the show. She talk about being totally driven. She is everything. She's an actress. She's a model. She's a model mom, and she's also a stand-up comedian. Let's welcome to the show. Let's see if I can say it straight. Eugenia Kuzmina.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
I'm great. Yeah, it's so nice to, listen to you talk, and it's very interesting.
Do you know about the world of Bitcoins?
I mean, I think everybody's learning about it now, right? We live in such a connected modern world that, any information is at the tip of your, mouth or nose or eyes or anything.
We all just got to keep Googling away and figure out what's the new thing.
Yeah. Well, it's, definitely would be interesting to see where it goes.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be scary, I think.
Mhm.
So, like I said, you are like an entertainment jack of all trades. So, like, which one of these came first? I think, if I'm not mistaken, modeling came first, correct?
Yeah, well, I think I came from such a strict upbringing where all my creative kind of, ideas were really not welcomed because it was the end of Soviet Union, and, you still have to kind of surrender to the old regime and nobody knew what's coming. So I just always wanted to be artistic and creative, and that's why I think I'm doing so many things. Because I always constantly feel inspired, to create.
Sure.
And yeah, modeling came first. I wouldn't say it was something that, I pursued actively because we never had business or anything. It was the 90s in Russia, the first American companies were coming, like Pepsi-Cola, M&M's, and they were doing commercials, and that's how I got into the business. I, kind of started doing things here and there, and I got into comedy in Russia, and, it just snowballed, and I got to Paris, so I was really excited about it and traveling.
Now, the thing that I'm really curious about, like, is, so you're like, you fall into this with the modeling, and then you had like the idea in your head to start doing these stand up and getting into acting and all that. But your father was a scientist? Yeah,
he was a nuclear scientist. And, he was really passionate about the ecology. He always wanted to work, supporting the ecology and, the climate and doing research. But at that time, when he was growing up, it was Chernobyl and, the 80s, the 70s, you have to work for the government. So,
okay.
It was really restricted in that sense. But in a way, I grew up around amazing artists and poets like Yevtushenko, and they were put in jail or, there were all these amazing creative minds. My dad was really open-minded because I think if you're, a nuclear scientist, you have to be really open-minded to discover something new.
Sure.
So yeah, it was super exciting. They were really creative. I think there's a misconception about scientists that they're really left-brained and really logical, but I think, they're really, really creative and out there. Very eccentric. So I think, I definitely own my genes, in a way, all my creativity to, my parents.
So was he very supportive in you going into the world of entertainment, or was he kind of like, what are you doing?
Oh, no, yeah. I mean, nobody knew anything about modeling, So they were like, oh, my God, you're going to be sold to dance on tables in Turkey. I know, they take your passport away. Like, nobody knows what happens to this girl. So, yeah, my dad wouldn't sign any papers for me to go to Paris when the agency approached to move there at 15. I mean, you're a teenager, and they're like, okay, we're going to pay for your apartment, but, obviously you have to pay back us, and there's contracts involved. Like, there are so many things that we had no idea how to deal with, and I had to go by myself. So, yeah, he was very skeptical, but when I started working, he came to visit me, and, it was amazing. Like, I cooked for him, at 15. I did my steak and, did some things that, 15-year-olds maybe not do, can take so much care of themselves. So he was really
I'm 47. I'm 47, and I still can't do that.
Well, we all have our talents. You can't compare things. I'm sure I can do as well things as you can. Some of them.
So you went to Paris by yourself. At 15, you're doing this. Again at 47, I would not go to Paris by myself.
Paris, really? It's such an amazing place. I love that city. Well, it was kind of a way to escape for me because I felt like I wasn't really doing well in school, or I felt like I needed more. And also, I really needed to earn money for my family. I mean, we were growing up in food stamps, even though we were working for the government. Wow. It was end of Soviet Union, so country was going through such a radical change. Then you have oligarchs and different systems that were coming out. But at that time, we had absolutely nothing. We were begging tourists for money. I remember Americans coming and, we were running, chasing them after chewing gum and chewing it for a week. So,
wow.
For me, a big motivation was just, I saw the possibility of working. It wasn't about glamour or, anything else. And I got lucky that it was in Paris, but it's a big misconception about what modeling really is and what people think it is.
Wow, that's pretty wild. That is really wild. Now,
yeah.
So you were doing all that with the stand-up comedy. Did you start with a lot of people go to comedy classes and take training classes and all with that? Did you do that too, or did you just start going to comedy clubs and just start doing open mic nights and getting your groove going?
No, I mean, I definitely I had no idea what I was doing at all. I was doing a film, Fading Gigolo in New York, and Woody Allen was part of this film, and I kind of was looking for a stage opportunity at that time, and kind of just found out that maybe stand-up was a good idea for me to try because I didn't need to look for a role with Russian accent. I can just have that connection with an audience, with a live audience, which I think is really important for any actor. So I wanted to do that, and I had no idea. I mean, English is my second language. I wasn't considered funny. I was never a clown. And so I called this writer. His name is Jerry Corley, and he used to work for Jay Leno, so he kind of helps comedians to start. Or he's got 5 kids, so he's local now. He can't travel on tours. And I called him up and asked if we can collaborate together. And he taught me a lot. And it's actually better than therapy. He taught me that you don't have to write jokes to be funny. You can just be honest about things that happen in your life, and you just find the most vulnerable kind of weird things that you would never share. And when you share, people can identify with that because we all have all those moments, you know what I mean? So it's very vulnerable to be up there, but it's definitely not jokey hey, let me tell you a joke. Blonde is walking into a bar.
No, don't get up there though and I go to therapy, and as a matter of fact, in my therapy session the other day I was actually crying. So don't get up there and start crying on stage. I don't think people would laugh at that.
I know. I tried different sets. Trust me. Sometimes people would throw tomatoes, or I don't know. You have to be courageous. That's the thing. It's people say, "Oh, I just walk out there and I'm amazing." You go through things and you discover who you are every time, and it's super vulnerable because if people laugh, then that you're up there and present with them, and mostly people laugh about that. If you're present and honest, and the more honest you are, the funnier it is. But I don't know.
Absolutely.
I'm still trying to find a therapist. I don't think it's worked for me. I think acting is a good therapy.
I tell you what, it's an incredible thing. I feel so much better every week after I go. I really do.
Okay.
So you mentioned about English is actually your second language, and I was wondering because I've seen a lot of your roles, they have you playing the Russian hit person or whatever it is, and I'm thinking to myself, do they have you where you? I mean, yes, you have an accent, but it's not that bad actually. So I'm thinking to myself, do they say to you to over accent your accent? You know what I mean?
Yeah, actually when I came here, I kind of started acting really late comparing to, I think, anybody who wants to have a career, because I just had my kids and I would go to, when I was looking for an agent, and they're like, oh my God, like you have two kids, how are you going to commit to this career? And besides, you have an accent, like it's impossible, forget it, so,
Really?
but I was,
That's wild.
yeah, of course, yeah, you have to start as a child and it takes a lot of time to develop, in this business. But I was really persistent, and I felt really passionate about it. And it was interesting. Like first, of course, I was like, oh my God, I'm ready to play all these leading roles. I felt so identified with all these characters. But you realize that kind of people first perceive you from your first impression, and maybe I have to play like a Russian this person or that, like Russian spy. But at first, then you learn how to say no. First, you just get experience, working
Right.
with amazing artists, and then they know more what's your essence and who you are. And I feel really lucky because I feel, in a way I can open some doors maybe for some other actors. Because, I never had a problem with directors about my accent. It's more when the script comes in and they kind of think, okay, well, she fits in that box. But it's up to you to kind of open it up and, bring new ideas to the table. And I think it's a very exciting world right now where people are really kind of, going for alternatives and interesting choices in anything.
Right.
So I feel really excited about it. Like, and I don't feel
That's
at all
awesome.
typecast in something.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Now, something else I saw you were working on too. Like you have a website set up, modelmom.tv.
Yeah,
And I thought that was
actually,
like a really cool thing.
yeah, that's like a small blog that I started, and currently I'm developing it into a reality series, so that will be super fun. I got a lot of my model friends together, and it's just going to be like talk about our life, what it's like to be a model and a mom. I just felt it's such a dichotomy, to be a mother and a model, because it's kind of, controversial. As a model, you always focus on how you look. You have to take care so much of yourself and your image. It's like an athlete. You have to train all the time. But as a
Right.
mom, it's kind of the opposite. You have to put all your attention on your kids. And when I had my kids, like obviously I had no idea what's happening. And I took my 3-month-old and I was like, oh yeah, I can totally fly like back and forth to New York and Paris and China. Like it's doable. But then you realize just, how like society kind of doesn't know what to do about it, or so for me it was really interesting to explore and kind of support, women who are passionate about something, doing besides just being a mom. Because I think, in this age, we are all like whole human beings. For me, it's very interesting to meet people who are really, kind of want to grow. They don't want to stop. Okay, I'm a mom now. Like that's all I care about. Though I respect, and I understand like choices. I'm more open-minded about that. Have a lot of friends who are stay-at-home mom, but for me it was really interesting to explore kind of people's passion and how to combine
Sure.
it, with parenting. Like how do you, and dads maybe too, maybe there should be like a spin-off on that.
Model dad.
Or something, there's like, I think it's good because a model doesn't specifically represent like fashion model. It's more about, being a human being who's not perfect, but he's still a model, for his children,
Right.
or, he's a model of just being human.
Yeah, that I mean, I was going through, I was watching some of the videos and all. I was like, I mean, it's such a great idea. I hope it really takes off for you.
Yeah, it's been super fun. Like, I think we can definitely plug it in somewhere next year.
That's awesome. Now, again, going back to the modeling real quick, you have done runway modeling, correct?
Yes. I started working with amazing designer Yves Saint Laurent. I spent maybe like 6 months in Paris, my first 6 months, and nobody would hire me. I was walking around castings, and I think I was just really shy. I had no self-confidence. I was dressing in this like Russian, post-Soviet clothes, and I had no idea what I was doing. And then I walked in one day when Yves Saint Laurent, he was doing his retrospective show, and he was actually the one who changed my life in so many ways. I was really inspired, to work with him. He's such a true artist, and
Wow.
You can be part of that. For me, it was not like, it was all about like him and his creative process, and he would always smoke cigarettes, like, and he can see you only when you have red lipstick, and like you have to be in that zone. So it was super creative, super fun, and after that, I got to do a lot of different shows.
Now, here's the thing I always wondered with runway modeling, and you see it now from time to time, thanks to the world of the internet and stuff like that. When a model falls on the runway, what are the girls like in the back doing? Like, are they like freaking out? Are they laughing? Are they like, oh my Lord, like, you know what I mean? Like, what is the scene? Does everybody start getting nervous, like they're going to fall now?
Yeah, I mean, I used to be so nervous. I definitely like fell down a couple of times because once we did the show, it was on ice we had to walk. So obviously everybody was just slipping there trying to get through, and I was really terrified. Oh my God, like my whole walk, like it's a walk of shame, the designer is going to fire you. But, it's amazing. Like it all depends on your confidence. I learned it watching Naomi because like even, all the top models, you would fall sometimes. It depends on the runway or the situation. They would be just so confident, and they would, like take the world by, like nothing happened. So
right.
I think that's what it is, and the designers don't mind it. Like, they understand it happens. It actually creates some entertainment. It's natural. If you try to hold it in too serious, I think then it becomes a problem. So it's all about confidence. I think the whole modeling, what I learned from that, it's all about personality and confidence and your ability to work with other people on sets and be part of the team. So that's what makes the model successful, not just like how you look,
Right. Yeah, I know. Like whenever I see that, because they show that, they show it on the news now. If a model falls, and I see it, and I just cringe. I feel so bad. I'm like, oh no.
Oh no, it's fun. I was on the red carpets, and I just was thinking, oh my God, this is so serious. Like we should do something fun. We should just fall. So me and another model would just push each other, and it was fun. We're like, we should create a series of modeling falling over in the red carpets. Get some fun back to Hollywood.
That'll be your new thing you're going to start working on. Or you're going to go do stand-up and walk on stage and fall. I'm rehearsing right now for my show tomorrow. Exactly. You gave me some ideas. So, all right, so you have this calendar that you released. It's called Beauty and the Beach. Is that what it's called?
Well, actually, it's not called like that. It doesn't have a name. It was just kind of an idea for that. But it wasn't about like beauty and the beach. It was more about nature. And how it came along, basically, I know this amazing, incredible, celebrity and talented photographer, Antoine Verglas, who's been shooting people forever, and he's just so talented, like he can shoot anybody and they'll look amazing. I mean, I didn't do as much lingerie in my career, but when we shot together, I was like, oh my God, this guy can like make miracles, So I met him, and then his makeup artist, who's a really amazing makeup artist and hairdresser, Donna Fumoso, and we're just talking, what can we do, because, every day you read the news and something happened. Especially this year, it felt like, there's so many natural disasters, like every time you open something up. And we thought, like, what can we do, something creative, bring our creativity to the project and, do something back. Like, so, we decided to kind of come up with an idea to shoot like in a paradise where it's really a human is part of nature. So it's just a highlight of, the beauty, the natural beauty of the surroundings. And we went to St. Bart's, which is a little paradise, the water is so warm, and it's amazing. And a few weeks later, the hurricane happened there, and I couldn't believe it when Antoine was sending me the pictures of the wrecks and things that were happening at the places that I thought. So it has a lot of memory, and for me it was to raise money also to organizations. There are two organizations. I work with a lot of charity organizations, but it's very important for me to know them because, I grew up in third world country, And
Right.
I just remember that we had a lot of charities coming to us, and maybe they would give us chocolates or things that we didn't specifically need. You know what I mean? So for me, it was really important to find organizations who know what people need and who can educate them. And I know exactly where the money goes, and these people are really passionate and they take their time. So I work with the Peace Fund with Adrian Paul for a few years now on his charities. He's super passionate. He's always have something going on. He's got a radio, and he works with a lot of hurricane relief currently. That's what we decided to focus on, just because it's not just about the nature, but it was more specific for us. So that's
right.
So yeah, I know where this goes. He supports unfunded kind of smaller charities, which is really great. And then another one is Funkozy, which the organization that I found through my actress friend, and it supports Haiti and the kind of hurricane reliefs there and poverty and educates them. And all the 100% of all donations that go to it, I know people are really passionate too. So for me, the authenticity on where you put your name and what do you do with that, like, it's really important. And I was really happy to find it. And we're almost sold out on Amazon, so we have to get
Holy
more orders.
Cow.
Yeah, I think I have like 8 calendars left, so I definitely have to work on more now. Super fast.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's super exciting. It's fun. And a lot of people would ask me, why would I shoot, naked, or like, especially in this day and age when it's all about like women empowerment. And I try to explain that, for me it was not about, it was all about a different message. It's all about
right.
Human, like, it's all about women's body, a beautiful body as it is. If you add clothes to this shoot, it becomes about fashion, and we wanted to make it about nature.
Now, when you were getting ready to, or come up with the idea of this, like, did you turn around and have to say to your husband and your children, like, this is what I want to do? Like, were they kind of take it back?
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, I take a lot of times my kids to kind of see, things that are happening. I take them downtown in LA with this amazing organization, a couple of Girls and Guys Give Back, and you can go and feed the homeless. So you can really connect to people and see different, people coming from different walks of life. We go to, farm sanctuaries to kind of learn about animals. So they understand why I was doing that. I think that's the most important thing, like, why you're doing what you do. And I think it's an important question to ask, like, anybody who's doing anything, because if you can answer that, then you can definitely understand that. And they're really supportive. I mean, our family
That's awesome.
is very supportive of each other.
That's great.
Yeah.
So now, is Amazon the only place that it's available?
Yeah, I think Amazon, we kind of decided to go broad with that for now. I mean, maybe I will come up with some other ideas. But I think Amazon, it's just so easy and available for everybody. So that's why we decided to do that.
Amazon is slowly taking over the world.
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely a lot of things to maybe discuss about that. For me, it was more kind of a question of raising the most funds at this time. But yeah, that's another topic, right? Or an economy topic.
Exactly. So, so everybody can go on Amazon, but you said there's like almost sold out. So will there be more copies made, or?
Yeah. I'm in the process of making more copies, so definitely coming soon.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, you got to hurry because it's almost 2018.
I know, right? Very exciting.
And your birthday's coming up. So you're a Christmas baby.
Yes, I know. Yes. I love this birthday because, I feel like all the world is just feeling so relaxed and happy, and it kind of gets me in the mood that, it's a real celebration. So, yeah, I mean, I don't care about presents that much, But, yeah, because I came from a place where we had nothing, and even though we have everything, like, I think I have different meaning for that. So it's just fun for me to see how much people enjoy their families, and it kind of reflects for me.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations on everything. It's very successful. The
Thank
calendar,
you.
and you say you're doing stand up tomorrow. You said.
Yeah, I have a show at the Comedy Store, so if you guys are around, please check it out. Original in Room. It's really fantastic. A lot of times it's sold out. And it's been really great. I mean, comedy is booming, especially now. I feel people really need to laugh, and it's just so fun to talk to people.
Do you know? I think she actually helps run the Comedy Store now. Eleanor Kerrigan. Not
really, but I will definitely find out tomorrow.
Yeah, if mention my name in our show. She's from out here in Philadelphia, and
okay.
She's done the show. She's done the show a few times, and she's usually out on tour with Andrew Dice Clay.
Okay. Yeah, it's a lot of it's very hectic. So maybe I saw her, but I would definitely would love to meet her and mention.
Yeah, she's very funny. Very her act is very, very rude and funny, and it's yeah. But yeah, talk to her because she would be a great help for you too with that.
Oh, cool. Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Eugenia, thank you so much for calling in and being a guest, and congratulations on the calendar, and
thank you.
Get more printed up. We got to sell more.
Thank you so much. Happy holidays, guys.
You too. Happy holidays and happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you. Okay.
You're welcome. Bye. All right, there she goes. Eugenia Kuzmina. You can get her calendar. It's on Amazon. There's only 8 copies left. So go. Sell it out. Buy them 8 copies. Yeah, she's got a Facebook page for her calendar as well. There you go. Pretty wild.
Now, have you seen the calendar?
You know what? I have not. I actually was just trying to Google to see if I see any pictures, and I'm not seeing any of the pictures from the calendar. But there's other ones. Or maybe there's some. I don't know. There's one she's holding a snake. I ain't down with that. That's pretty wild, though. I mean, think of that. I mean, here was a girl from Russia.
Yeah.
Now she's here in the States, slowly taking over, without Bitcoins.
Yeah.
Oh, man, oh, man.
That's funny.
So what